plant-based barbecue. Oh yeah.
Hey everyone, Brian Rogers with the Fool's Gold Plant-Based Cooking Show. Today we're going to do another one of our base recipes, and this was one of the first recipes that helped me learn about the difference in timing with plant-based barbecue. One of the amazing benefits of plant-based barbecue, in addition to it being amazingly healthy, great for you, it's good for weight loss, it's also really easy to implement, a lot easier than say a brisket or pork or something that takes a lot of time. Sometimes it can take up to 24 hours to do a brisket. You can have smoked tofu or smoked jackfruit or things like that on your table in about an hour. So it's really also good for busy families that couldn't do barbecue before because of time. So we're going to get right into the recipe. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some tofu. Now I recommend you use firm tofu. I'm using Trader Joe's organic firm tofu today. You can use whatever kind of tofu you like. The only kind I don't recommend is the sprouted tofu. It doesn't quite work well with when you get smoke into it. So the first thing we're going to do is get into our tofu. And most tofu that you get comes in a package similar to this. And you just have to open it up. The way I do it is I take like a sharp knife and I'll cut kind of around the package. And be careful because there is water in here. It's like preserves the tofu so it doesn't go bad. So we're going to open this up real quick. And then you want to take this and you want to put it into a colander, all right? So you want to drain all this into our colander here. And we're going to put that in. And then the most important thing with tofu, as well as jackfruit and some of our other things, is to get all the moisture out of it. It'll look something similar like this. Some tofu might be about half the size, some might be thinner, some might be thicker. But you'll notice that if you hold the tofu up and you squeeze on it, it's a lot of moisture into it. In order to, where a lot of people make a mistake with tofu, is they try to cook it without getting all the moisture out. It's very important you spend the extra time, get all the moisture out of the tofu. So what you want to do is you want to take your tofu and you want to wrap it in some paper towels. So wrap it in paper towels and you want to squeeze really tight and get as much moisture as you can out of it. Once you're to that point, I'm going to go ahead and leave that there, and I've got one set up here. Here's what you want to do. Now there's different variations of doing this. I'm just going to show you what I do. And I use my weights, my 10-pound weights. In fact, you can get a workout while you're doing this, which is pretty awesome. But the reason for this is, I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. You want to take, after you've wrapped your tofu in some paper towels, you want to take like a plate and put a plate down, and then you want to put paper towels on the bottom of the plate, and then you lay your tofu on the top. So notice here's one that I've already had here for about 30 minutes. Notice it's squished down a little bit. So you want to put your tofu on the paper towel and then put a paper towel over the top of it like this. And then you can either put another plate, or what I like to use is like a sheet pan or a cutting board. And then you put that right over the top of the tofu like that. And then you need to put something heavy over it. Again, I use a 10-pound weight, and you put it right over the top and you let that sit. You can let it sit for up to an hour. I usually like to do about 30 minutes or so, and that'll get all the moisture, or a lot of the moisture, out of the tofu. That's going to make it, the texture much better, and it won't get all squishy and mushy. A lot of people don't like tofu because it gets all mushy. I don't like mushy food. So this is what you have to do to get it out. So once you're done with that, you come back to it, and you'll see that all your paper towels are all very wet. I mean, look at this. This is how much. I'm going to actually take this out of here real quick and put this on my cutting board. Again, look at the difference between when I started and now. Big difference. See that? So it squished it down, and those are going to make perfect burnt ends now. So the other thing I want you to notice, I'm going to put that on my cutting board, is after about 30 minutes, watch this. This is how much moisture is in tofu, guys. That's disgusting. That's why people, if you see people complaining about their tofu's mushy or their jackfruit's mushy or whatever, that's why. They don't take the extra time to get all the moisture out of it, okay? Very, very important, especially with barbecue. Your barbecue will not come out unless you get all the moisture out of it. So once you're done with that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, and you can either cut this into burn ends as is, like this, or you can smoke the entire thing. I'm going to smoke the entire thing today, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So we're going to go ahead and get our, I'm going to go ahead and get a plate real quick here. And I do this a little bit differently than I do some of the other smoked ingredients. So we're going to take about a tablespoon of, you can either use tofu rub, or today I'm going to use our all-purpose competition rub. And I'm actually going to mix this first, unlike some of my other recipes. I'm going to take about a quarter teaspoon of smoked hickory salt. I'll put that in there. And take about a tablespoon of demerara sugar. Throw that all together. And then we're going to go ahead and mix that up a little bit. All right, so mix your rub up. And then this is a little bit different than how we normally do some of our other recipes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our barbecue sauce, and you want some kind of a container that you could put into the refrigerator. So something like this. Notice it already has a little bit of barbecue sauce in it. I've poured some in ahead of time. And of course, we're using Fool's Gold barbecue sauce. What else? But you can use any barbecue sauce you like. And then we're going to take our tofu. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just put it in this little dish right here. And we're going to get some barbecue sauce on it. This is going to act as like a binder for our rub. I'm going to kind of mix it in the barbecue sauce like that real quick. That's perfect. Notice how we have some sauce on it. Then we're going to take our rub and we're going to pour that on. And now it's time to get our hands dirty. You can use, I would normally use gloves for this if I was doing it for somebody else, but I'm not today. I'm doing it for my family. So we're just going to rub that in really good on all sides of the tofu, just like that. Oh, it smells so good. Wow, can you smell that from here, Ken?
Oh yeah.
That smells good, doesn't it? So we're going to rub that in really good, just like that. Just like you would if you were rubbing a brisket or anything else. We're going to rub this in. Again, tofu's good as is. I'm going to show you different ways you can finish it. But I also like it on salads. You can crumble it on with like seitan bacon. You can put it on salads. You can put it in burritos. So that's pretty good. So you want to get it coated just like that. And we're going to put it back into our sauce here. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. Okay, we're going to put it back into our sauce. And then what you want to do is you want to cover this with sauce, just like this. All right, so it's completely covered in sauce. Now we're going to use this sauce as a marinade. All right, so we're going to take our lid. We're going to put that on. And we're going to put that in the refrigerator. Now you can do this. You don't have to do this step, but it makes it so much better if you do, because that sauce will get in the tofu and it'll be an amazing flavored tofu. If you've been to like Trader Joe's or places where you see like smoked tofu that looks like it's a different color, this is basically the process they're doing. We're going to get our marinade into it. You can also use like teriyaki sauce and things like that as well. Of course, we only do barbecue here. So we're going to put that into the fridge. And then once it comes out of the fridge, just pretend I put it in the fridge. Once it comes out of the fridge, we're going to take our whole tofu like that, and it'll look something like that. And then we're going to go directly to the smoker, and we're going to smoke this for about an hour at 225 degrees on hickory wood. So we're going to go to the smoker real quick, and I'll be right back, and we'll show you how to finish this. Okay, here we go, out of the smoker. Look at this. This is the color we're talking about. This is exactly what we're looking for. Now, notice I have it on this mesh tray here. These are awesome trays. I use these all the time for jackfruit, for tofu. They can go up to 600 degrees. You can put them in the oven. You can find these on our website. I think they're $14 or something on our website. I use these all the time if I'm not using restaurant pans. So this is exactly how you want it to look, guys. We're going to pull it right off this mesh pan here, and look at that. That's just perfect. Look at that. All right. I'm going to put that on our cutting board. The nice thing about tofu, it's very easy to do. It only takes you about an hour. I've actually done for a group party before. I've actually done, and notice this is a feed about maybe a family, but I've done about 200 pieces of tofu at one time in my smoker before for a large group. So what we're going to do with our tofu to finish this, multiple ways. I'm going to show you how to make burnt ends out of it, but you can also cut this into strips. You can crumble it onto salads, bacon. You don't need anything else on this. The other thing I really love to do is I love to finish it. I love to put some barbecue sauce on it. I love to finish it in an air fryer. It makes almost these fried, like amazing, almost like boneless chicken wings, almost. So I'm going to actually finish it in our saute grill here. And so we're going to take these. We're going to make burnt ends. So we're going to take a knife here, and we're going to cut it like this way to start with. All right. Cut this into chunks, any size you like. It's about the size I like. All right. We're going to cut those into strips, and then we're going to cut them right into burnt ends, just like we would if we were cutting brisket or anything else. We're going to cut those into burnt ends. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Cut those up like so. And there we go. Now I'm going to crumble those out. Look how those look now, guys. You can also, when you smoke these, if you want a thicker smoke, if you wanted to get rid of the white looking, I'm going for the kind of the white looking look on the inside, but if you don't want that, you can also cut this up before you smoke it, and it'll actually put some more color on the inside of the tofu. Again, you don't have to do that. I normally don't recommend doing that because the tofu will fall apart in the smoker if you do it like that. But here's all we're going to do to finish this, guys. We're going to take the white ends, and we're going to put that in a hot pan just like this. And you can kind of hear it. You can kind of hear it starting to smoke a little bit. And we're going to take those, and we're going to treat these just like we would if we were finishing like burnt end. And look at those. You can smell it just starting to cook, can't you? Wow. Put those right in there like that, and those will cook fast. So we're going to watch them. So we're going to kind of watch one of them like so, and notice how it's starting to, that's exactly what we're looking for, guys. We're starting to make burnt ends out of them. It's getting a little char on the end. It's just what we're looking for. Guys, exactly what we're looking for. Now, once you start to get a little char like that, we're going to take some Fool's Gold barbecue sauce, and now we're going to caramelize this. Take some sauce, just like so, and now that's going to really caramelize. You want to really get that in really good. Look at those, guys. Yeah, we really cook on this show. Look at those caramelizing, just like so. I'm going to cook those up really good. And this sauce will all cook right into the burnt ends. These are so good. Just like that. You smell that, Ken?
Oh yeah.
Woo. Smells so good. And then what you can do is if you have any leftovers, you can put these in the refrigerator, and they'll save for up to like 4 days. And you can do anything you want with these, but I love to crumble them like over salads or like in lasagna. You can use these in like a lasagna. And notice how it almost looks like, I don't know, kind of like feta cheese or eggs or something. It crumbles right up and just makes a really good like ricotta, egg substitute. It's good over in burritos. So good. So that's really all we're going to do. Now, again, as I said, the other way you can finish these, a lot of times what I'll do is when I get to the point of them being kind of done in here, I'll put them in the refrigerator if I'm not going to eat them right away, and I'll throw them in the air fryer right before we eat them. They make just like this amazing crust on them. Those are about how I want them. So I'm going to go ahead and get a plate. And there is your smoked tofu burnt ends. Just like that, guys. So we'll see you on another video, but I hope you enjoy the smoked tofu recipe. Please ask me any questions, comment, let me know how you like this, and we'll see you on another video. Hit the subscribe button right now and subscribe to the Fool's Gold Plant-Based Barbecue Show, and I'll be seeing you soon on some future videos.